Ladies and gentlemen, there's no way to sugarcoat this. Nothing we say, nothing we analyze is going to hurt us any less. I guess the only silver lining is that you could say that we did put ourselves in winning situations at multiple times throughout the course of the day, and still we were second best. So I'm not going to get into Well, I am going to get into figuring out what went wrong. And I think it's fairly obvious what went wrong. But before we do that, let's doff our hats to the English cricket team and more to the English cricket team, the English batting team. The bowling is rubbish, but the batting was spectacular. I always said that this series is going to be determined by India's bowling versus England's batting, and that's exactly what it was. Forget about the technical abilities, the power, all those things. Let's put all of that aside. I think what was amazing to watch was just the mindset, was that positive intent, that positive attitude, and that kind of attitude, that kind of intent is, I mean, it's quite something. It's something, if you call me revolutionary, I mean, there is nothing like that. I don't think there's any team out there ever was, and there isn't right now any team out there with this kind of an approach towards cricket. People might say a lot of stuff that we have a lot of freedom, express ourselves, all that nonsense, but this is the first time that I think there's a cricket team out there that's actually, backing what they think, and what they're thinking is not just go out there and throw hell to leather and just swing your bat at everything. What they're thinking is play attacking, play fearless cricket. Playing fearless doesn't mean throwing away your wicket, by the way. It's being calculated and taking a positive approach, and that's what was there. Any other team chasing this kind of target would not have gotten even half as far as the England team did, and the England team actually ended up winning it. And might I say, despite a few couple of hiccups, winning it quite comfortably. Before we go off, I mean, into any further analysis, first and foremost, I think the this is the match in which there were multiple centuries. There was a Bumrah 5 4, there was a couple of 4 4s by the English bowlers and whatnot, but I think the most important and the most impactful innings and the star of today definitely has to be um, Ben Duckett. Wow, Ben Duckett he was like fearless. I mean, it was pretty awesome to see him bat, and uh, even though he struggled initially against Bumrah, not struggled, but he was very tentative, not tentative, also very mindful of the fact that he needs to just survive that first half an hour or 1 hour of play. He did that. Bumrah and Siraj actually bowled very well up front. Listen, you need luck your way. Okay, that there'll always be plays and misses. There'll always be balls that half an inch this side or that side you could have taken your edge, and anything could have happened. So let's not sit here and say India was unlucky or England was lucky or anything of that sort. It is what it is. But I like how there's an air of resignation about me when I say this. But the fact is, Ben Duckett played quite an extraordinary innings. The tempo at which he played, the kind of the kind of areas in which he scored, the kind of shots he played, it was quite something. And he literally just took the game away from us. That opening partnership of 180 odd, coming up just 40 odd overs, when you're under the pump, under the pressure, in a fourth innings, chasing such a huge target. Wow. I mean, you've done it one too many times now to call it a fluke. Let me put it that way. So that was quite something. And that pretty much took the game away from us. Sure, there was a couple of good wickets after that. And of course, the Lord comes in and does Lord things. But Shardul was, I mean, let's be honest, it was kind of disappointing, all said and done. Um, we'll talk about the Indian bowling later, but just a little bit more on the batting from England. Joe Root coming in at the time he did. Ben Stokes, pressure situation, absorbing the pressure, not letting the pressure get the better of them, not throwing away their wicket whatsoever, being extremely mindful. targeting the right kind of bowlers. They knew that Bumrah was the dangerous one, even though he did not take a single wicket. And the reason they didn't take a wicket is not because he wasn't able to produce magical stuff. They were very, very, very careful when they were playing him. And sure, you can say that there wasn't much assistance from the pitch and the weather because it was like cloudy, not cloudy, but rainy. It just basically didn't swing at all. But that's different. That's a different part of the analysis. So we'll come to that later. Very smart approach, very proactive approach the English batsman had. And I should say, I don't think we should feel too sad that we lost. I feel we should acknowledge the fact that England was a much better team and they put in a much better batting display than us. So that's that. As far as what everybody is saying that, we threw away the game because of our the cluster of wickets that we lost towards the end of the game, be it in the second innings or the first innings. I mean, come on. After scoring 340, if you 330, if you lose your last seven innings for 40 runs, that's fine. You still scored 380 runs or 375 runs or whatever it is, and that's more than plenty. I mean, if you're not able to defend that, then you will not be able to defend 400 either. Let's be honest. And even the second innings, I mean, it was a matter of time, right? Okay, sure, you would have got 25 runs more or 30 runs more. You don't think this team would have hit 30 runs more had you bowled like this? It's not a matter of you could say, okay, why did you lose? And yes, you can give me an analysis. You can try to get your tail to, get some more runs for you, put a nicer batsman in, shuffle the order a little bit. You can do all those things. I'm not saying no to that. But the fact of the matter is, if you don't have bowlers, you're going to pick 20 wickets. And especially these kind of batsmen, you can't contain this team, right? So you have to pick wickets. And so if you're not going to play your five bowlers who you think are going to pick you those 20 wickets, then I'm sorry, but you're going to end up on the losing side every single day of the week. So I think at the place where India definitely fell short, and I mean, I would go to a limb over here and say, had it been Dhoni, had it been Kohli, had it been Rohit who were captains, India would have won the game. This was Shubman Gill's first match as captain, and it was a very, very tough fifth day for you to be a first time captain. I mean, it was very obvious that the plan wasn't set. I don't know if they had specific plans for specific players, but at least you should have specific plans on what kind of field you're going to set and what kind of lengths you want to ball. They were pretty much chasing the ball almost all day long. The ball goes to cover, put one in cover. The ball goes to slip, put one in slip. The ball goes to gully, put one in gully. That's not how you do it. Let's be honest. And then you had KL Rahul, who was captaining. You had Rishabh Pant, who was placing fielders. You had Shubman Gill, who was placing fielders. Kya ho raha hai, bhai? I mean, where is that commanding presence of a captain, right? I know it's your first game, Shubman Gill. I know you're still trying to find your feet and everything, but good God, man, why did you have to find your feet today of all days? Anyway, so captaincy definitely was an issue. No proactiveness, no intent to find that wicket, no plan to get the wicket. It was like, okay, I'm waiting for you to make a mistake, and if you make a mistake, hopefully I'll hold on. And we didn't hold on either. Yashasvi Jaiswal had a nightmare. He kept putting down every catch that came to him, including Ben Duckett on 89. Had he held on to that catch, would things have been different? You never know. Then there was one, I think there was a missed catch of that Rishabh Pant put down. There was a catch that went in between Rishabh Pant and KL Rahul, Ben Stokes when he was early in his innings of Jadeja. There was a couple of Ben Stokes, hits that went into slips when there was no slip. The slip was too wide. Why the hell was the slip wide? Why didn't you have two slips? Um, Ben Duckett got almost 60% of his runs in reverse hits, reverse sweeps, and you had one fielder to man the entire area. Don't have the bloody fielder. No, why have one fielder over there? At least have two. Reverse is his main thing. He's not playing a single thing down the ground. So why did you have anyone there? Why couldn't you have them in the reverse slip place? Anyway, a lot of things over here that You felt that could be different, but it wasn't. And the biggest disappointment of today, the white elephant in the room, or addressing the elephant in the room. I'm sorry, my voice is so dejected today right now, but oh shit. Anyway, the biggest disappointment just with Bumrah. What happened to you? You had an average of under 20. You're an all-time great. Your team needs you to show up today. Where the hell did you go? And what were those spells? Apart from one or two balls that were threatening, nothing was threatening. Why were you continuously going for the pads? What happened to trying to get them caught out? Did you lose confidence in the slips completely? You wanted to just get them LBW and bold? What happened? Just wasn't half as menacing as he was. And the other thing, why did he not take the second new ball? Okay, we're not going to win. I understand that it's 15 or 15 runs to get, sure. But why aren't you with the second new ball? Why did he not take it? What kind of message does that send? I'm not for that. I'm sorry. That was not cool. Maybe it wasn't your day just with Bumrah. I'm not saying no. But you should have taken the second new ball. Shubham Gill, I mean, you can't just throw in the towel when there's 25 runs left to play. That's not the way it is done. So yeah, overall, dejected, disappointed, but at the same time, hopeful. Still, four matches left in this five-match series, and if anything is to go by, their bowling is shit. Let's be honest, and our batting is finding its form. So I'm confident about the batting. I think a couple of changes are going to take place in the batting lineup, definitely. But next match, probably Bumrah is not going to be there, or he'll probably be there. I'm not sure. But I think we need to think about bringing in Arshdeep or Akashdeep, um, Kuldeep. I think all these guys need to get a look in. Prasidh Krishna was good while it lasted. Couple of good balls to get these guys out. Shardul was rubbish. The two balls that he got, the two batsmen out, also were rubbish. They just so happened to get people out. Uh, I mean, the ball that Duckett got out was basically a full-blooded drive that happened to go uppish in the air, and we had a decent fielder in the form of Nitish ready to take the catch, the substitute. And the ball that got Harry Brook out was a nothing ball. So I don't see Shardul Thakur playing the next match. I mean, it makes no sense to me. I think Nitish Reddy would have contributed better bowling than him, and definitely better batting than Shardul Thakur. And you got to decide if you feel batting is okay because they don't have a great bowling lineup, and if you feel that you need to strengthen your bowling, then I feel Kuldeep is your guy. I think Kuldeep is a match winner, and I feel you need to get him. And if Prasid is not able to deliver the goods, then I feel you have a damn good bowler in the form of Akashdeep, and you have a very, very promising talent in the form of Arshdeep. And Arshdeep swings the ball both ways. Don't forget that. So I think, and when he played county cricket, I think he was sensational too. So I am hopeful that India is going to bounce back. It is going to take a lot to gather themselves and bounce back from this. It was a pretty monumental effort that they put in the bat, and to lose from such strong positions throughout the entire game basically shows two things: that you just can't take your eye off the ball with this England team. I think this England team, all they want is a small entry in, and the moment they get in, they just kind of make their way. And uh, it's not a fluke. Okay, let's be honest. It's not a fluke that England won. England have been training and practicing this form of cricket for too long now for you to say it's a fluke. So uh, I guess what takes for you to win is for you to be able to deliver your game the best. And let's be honest, India was not at its best for 5 days continuously. We had sessions that went our way, especially in the batting department, but with this kind of bowling, that will happen. But yeah, so let's not say the pitch didn't do much, a 50 pitch, or the weather wasn't conducive. Let's put all that shit aside. You lost the match by not taking. your authoritarian position in the first innings. Number one, you lost the match when you dropped five catches in their first innings. Number two, you lost the match when you weren't able to push for a 420, 430 kind of score in your second innings. And number three, you lost the match when you weren't able to stick to a particular fielding plan and a particular, you know, aggressive stance and looking for wickets when they batted the second time. These are the four places where you lost. And of course, that's in the fifth place, generally where you lost is your fielding. These are the places where you lost. You didn't lose because of the pitch, you didn't lose because of the weather, you didn't lose because your batting failed, nothing of that sort. You lost because of these five reasons. And that is what you need to take into account and get better at. So it's a 5 match series, 4 matches left. I find no reason why India can't bounce back. England will be very, very aware of that. So I think we have a lot of analyzing to do, and looking forward to doing that from now to the second match. And looking forward to the second match. And until then, congratulations to England. You guys played damn good cricket, exciting cricket. This kind of cricket is what Test cricket needs. You are the best ambassadors of Test cricket. Your bowling is shit, but your batting was fantastic.